to give 30 seconds.
Yeah, man, you go 45 seconds. No, man, it's a year we know, but it up like the jump.
Oh, okay. I think we took money.
Seconds and brother 30, when you reach 45. What you know?
Let's see.
Top right. Red.
Oh, yeah, you know, yeah man, you can go to second, yeah man, about 55.
Alright. So first of all, I'd like to say all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to the Akim who push this word in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and freedom to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen, but are not by way of their forefathers' seeds, who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as we're the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. Alright, we're the Hebrew Israelites out here once again in Jamaica, out here to prophesy the downfall of this wicked kingdom. Okay, there are several things going on in these last days, as we're in the last of days. We're at the end of the rulership of the so-called white man, who is the Edomite, whose forefather is Esau. Somebody can get my piece of bubble for sure. Bring that up, bro.
This is 2 Ezra 9, verse 1.
Read up.
He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself.
Alright, so the scripture lets us know that we need to measure the time diligently. How do we do that? We observe what's going on in the world. We look at the prophecies and we look at the steps that Yahweh Shai is taking to fulfill those prophecies. And it's clear to see that all of them are truly building up to that point or the climax. Right? Continue.
We said that earlier, I think I made you talk about the chip. You know, we can actually analyze all the moves that the devil take. We have the blueprint here.
Where we get to that? Continue, brother.
And when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Come. So the Most High is getting ready to visit this place, man. Alright? And we're already seeing one of the signs, such as the chariots. Okay? That is one of the greatest signs of the end. The frequency at which we're seeing the chariots. As well as certain calamities happening around the world. Literally, various parts around the world are setting on fire. But continue the precept for the uproars and them things there.
Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people.
Alright, so
world.
so the uproars of the people around the world, man, that was real heavy, especially in 2019. And it followed into 2020, the year of prophecy as deemed by our elder apostle Tahar. Right? But that kind of ended a little bit because of the COVID. But as soon as the restrictions got, became more laid back, you saw that some people were going back out to protest.
Yeah,
Alright?
The thing is, you fooled me, you know, because the media now cover a lot of things. Me think so, like majority of the protests, then, apart from the Black Lives Matter madness, is in the calm down. But when you do like research the countries, Lebanon, right now I think Belarus or Belarus, you see me, protests, you see me, thousands of people out in the street. That's Germany, right? Is in England, protests are going on as well. Is in front of the Buckingham Palace. But the thing is, the media now cover a lot of things. Right now, we know them are pushing pandemic, you know, coronavirus.
And they're focusing on the election right now.
That's right. So, but majority of the countries, them, they are uproars peak, right? Majority of the people are protesting right now. At the fucking
Especially South America.
coronavirus lockdown madness. But no people don't believe in it. You see, man, I say lockdown them actually are kill you more than coronavirus. Rather catch you more than sit down and dead film.
Sorry.
Because them have the agenda push say October to November the next lockdown based on them schedule planning. This is how we say this is a pandemic because them say them predict or say people are gonna riot and protest about the lockdown, isn't it? So all of this are part of the plan.
So the scripture also mentioned the earthquakes. I mean, you can just Google that, right? to see the amount of earthquakes that hit daily.
When he did a day,
Hey.
Clarendon 4.2 if I'm not mistaken. You're Clarendon or Manchester?
I think one hit today.
Yeah, and there's been
3.2.
these little tremors as well out here in Jamaica where, you know, I'm starting to feel that Jamaica might just get hit with a pretty decent earthquake very soon. Alright, continue the precept, bro.
Verse 4. Then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning.
Because all of this was orchestrated from the very beginning. Alright, the very, very, very beginning. Alright, continue, brother.
Verse 5. For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest.
And what's the end referring to? The end of Esau Edom's wicked kingdom, man. Alright, we're moving towards the kingdom of righteousness, which is going to be led by Yahushai, the spirit of Yahweh. Alright, that's the times that we're in. But one of the very telling signs that we're in the end is the mark of the beast prophecy. Alright, somebody. You get that? Yeah, man, the mark of the beast prophecy, which that is coming very swiftly. Alright, Esau Edom. Bring up the precept.
Alright, so this is Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16. And he caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Alright, so the scripture lets us know, man, right? It doesn't matter who you are or your social status in society. This devil intends for everyone to be microchipped. Alright?
And that's actually what he said, rich and poor. And if you're looking at the retail industry now, you see the big retailers, them will make the money. The small retailers, them will get cut out of the business. So it had narrowed down to rich and poor. The middle class has go. So them things they are signed to show you what time we're in the prophecy.
If I'm not mistaken, I think Jeff Bezos or whoever in that truck on him.
Amazon boss.
Yeah, he make mostly $200 million a day. You know, from the whole lockdown thingy.
And Target.
Majority of the moms and pop business, them like Eric McGregor man who own like a restaurant or a clothes store and them thing there. Them actually lock them down. You are non-essential.
Right.
You see me? Or based on the coronavirus blah 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 measures, you're not fit to operate. And them are lose. You see me? So meanwhile, the billionaires them, you see me, increase more and more. As they are saying, the rich will always get richer and the poor get poorer.
Alright, so verse 17 in Revelation chapter 13, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name.
Alright, so when you do your research about the microchip, RFID microchip, or you can call it the microchip, you know, you'll see when you go into the word mark, first of all it says charagma. So the charagma is the actual physical microchip. The root word of that is the charax, which is the device that is used to administer the chip, and the root word of that is grapho, which is the information that is stored on the chip. So what's stored on it is going to be your personal information, right? Medical information, banking information, which then goes into the 13 verse 17 with the buy and sell, right? Because we're moving towards that cashless society, especially with this COVID thing that they put out there, right? The idea of actually accelerating towards it because they've always wanted to do it, and then they've been demonizing cash, and then they've been removing coins out of the system and things like that. You have as well the banks around the world creating central bank digital currencies. You know, the system is all in place. You have 5G, you have the Internet of Things, NFC, RFID, all of these things, man, are all intertwined in the system, right? And so you have that part of it, but the most recent news regarding the mark of the beast is that forehead part, right? The brain implants. Recently, Elon Musk came out in 2019 with more in-depth knowledge of this brain chip implant and talking about all of the miraculous things that he will be able to do with it, such as make the paraplegic walk, make the blind see, cure Alzheimer's, cure spinal injuries, which all of these are uncurable in this world. Right, Esau hasn't been able to so-called fix it, you know.
Release it.
Right, exactly. So these things are looking to be so miraculous.
Yeah, there's a miraculous sound. I can read it.
19 and 20. Revelation.
And that's what we are saying, can see say the medical field is the vehicle very much try to use to basically increase the argument of why you need a microchip. Because previously they used to say of identification. But now with the COVID-19 aspect coming in, seeing that they might push contact tracing or social distancing, how to basically efficiently implement that stance of social distancing. It's basically cheaper. Because right now
the sign aspect of Kai-Style Sigma.
exactly. Because right now what they might use is facial recognition technology, and they might use technology by tracking your phone. But you can see that those two things they have a problem with it. Because the facial recognition technology is not as efficient. Because sometimes it basically it's a miss or hit type of thing. You see?
And people can hide their face and stuff like that.
Exactly, and the tracking of your phone, people can let them phone and yeah.
Right.
So you can see, say, that the argument of why you need a chip has been increased.
Right.
Because first we used to say, it's an identity. We used to say, we need to identify you. Because if you go to the hospital, we can pull up your records and so forth. So now you see that they have added other reasonable arguments according to them as to why you definitely need a chip. Because these things will make the system more efficient according to protecting you. Is it one wicked?
So as Scripture said, you come as a lamb, but speak as a dragon.
Yeah, can I get him? Remember the other
Yeah.
No, that's bring them with you.
Alright, so this is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 20. And the beast was taken,
Alright, so the beast is referring to NATO. Continue.
and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him.
Alright, so this is talking about the Roman Catholic Church, Christianity. Continue.
And we can also see how they actually use certain religion to push the agenda.
Right.
You understand? You might use religion to push the agenda. So you have as I've said before, every president that has been put in office actually have a religious handler. Because a president, is basically to govern. Govern means control, and make means the mind. So if you want to get a broad brush aspect of how to properly manipulate the society, you have to have the religious aspect so that when you go to do your speech, you see, if you wave your magical wands of witchery over the people, you have to have your handler, which is a religious man, and tell you say you can't say this, you can't say that, I have to put in a 1, 2, praise Allah, and I want to praise Jesus Christ.
That's why even my revelation it tell about the multitude of the sorceries. The word sorceries, I see the word pharmakia, which is the root word for pharmacy. Right? So as the Yeshua and break down with the Kai-Style stigma, it was always a part of it. The Greek sigma, signal or sign for stigma go back to many health and pharmacy, anything to do with medical or pharmaceutical industry, or even doctrines, even Greek mythology. Yeah,
They never say it.
the witchcraft, right? So it really are sure that they plan to use them medical system, as a way to actually get this done.
And sir, when I check it out, that's what I asked you earlier, because the Rothschild family, them own the whole medical system. Isn't it? The whole medical research team, everything belongs to that, or the big universities like Harvard University and everything that they own it. Yes.
If you look on it a long time, we prophesy about the medical part, like Eve, from the buying and selling to the medical part. Esau did ads where you rush or a patient, then give you a scenario where a patient rush into a hospital seeking medical attention and don't have the chip, and the result of that person not having the chip. And then show you another scenario when a person rush to the hospital and have a chip, and the result of that person having a chip. So and this ad they come out from a long time. So a long time we always, when they use the word cause it, we use the word cause it to break down the strategy and the things that them are going to use, for corner people, to make them take the chip.
And a precursor is that COVID pass.
It's when you look at the word cause it, the Greek word for cause it,
Things you go up to fire, which means to prepare. You look upstairs. But when the other say still is basically you can realize, as they have talked about the medical field, one of the symbols for the medical field is the serpent on the pole. You see,
And the same thing with side. I see him if you look up side,
Which is the
I see him too.
so you can see the aspect or the ideology where them are come off of is to actually be as Yahweh Shai, because Yahweh Shai was that representation of the serpent and a pole. You see, but that symbol was to basically represent Yahweh Shai as the healer. So we supposed to look unto him to be healed. But right now society use the same pole and the serpent to basically make we look unto him, which is the society, Esau, Nathan, all them organization to be healed. You understand?
From Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16, the word causeth, G4160, poieo, to make with the names of things made, to produce, construct, or form, to make ready, to prepare, to produce.
You have to prepare them to do it. And how is it that you have to prepare them to do it? Because you have to create a system where you have to do it. You can let you up. Nowadays, it's a line, an order. With the society in a perfect order. Even this whole, I mean, don't get me wrong, lines do form order, but if you realize how we are picking, everything in them teach you to do a line up, And in the function in a society can always come and say it was always a major part of the plan to create lines. You mentioned Rockefeller or whatever, the educational system, the whole concept of schools and education was funded and pushed by John D. Rockefeller, the biggest government to ever walk the face of earth.
Yes, sir.
Right? And it got to show that, look, it was always a part of the agenda.
This brother man name of Horace one, which is called classifying the father of modern day educational system. See, so this man got the Prussia, which is modern day Germany, and do some research and realize that the people over there was actually the rebellious people. But them implement the educational system over there to basically catch the youth from them young, bring them from them parents' house and put them in a system, an institution, to start to make the children dependent on the state. When you say, this will work for them to make the people more loyal to the state than to their individual causes and families, you say, we need to implement this in America and into the Western Hemisphere. You see, so that's why right now when you realize, them start to implement feminist movement, basically take all the mothers from the homes, put them in the institutions of work and labor. You see, and therefore you have to start to send the people then at school at an earlier age. So from an earlier age, these children are being taught to be completely reliant on the state. You see, so you can see where the work up to now, so that everybody in this society, their mentality is to conform to the state. You see, conform to the ideologies of the state because of the state and them parents.
Yeah, a YouTuber was going into the aspect of the whole schooling thing, and the youth are show say, cars. You compare cars from back then to now, and I say, over time, man, improve them things, your phone, your house. Certain good things improve over time, but the educational system was never improved. And the same thing back then, brother. Same thing back then. Sitting in our classroom like this, in lines and rows, isn't it? With somebody dictating and all that. Same thing now, my youth. Nothing was improved with that, my youth.
And that's the thing, there's always divide and conquer for this. Always, even now get some recent when I get looking into the information myself, and that's one of the reasons why they need the social distancing thing, to limit human interaction, so that like you would see the brothers and when you give a hug, and when you with a bring a man or all that could remove that aspect of the form of interaction with the society, actually make it start free for yourself. It cut out the social interaction and also to the point where them say treat everybody like they're others. So it's you up to me up to you, and there's a division down to those in the household. So that when the state come and I say, look here, them not comply, you are complying, them are going to make you sick. Them already have it in their mind already say, look here, you have it on me now, you need to leave. So it's even basic social interaction is something healthy, and something actually we have form bonds. So if you have people already distance themselves, when something come up with them here, we need to do a resistance again, the disconnect is already there. So there's no way they can come together to form an alliance or to form a group against you.
Never know.
What?
This is Revelation chapter 6 and verse 3. It's and when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth.
And who's that talking about? Esau, Edom, the so-called white man.
Yeah, no. We don't want to beat by the whole COVID measures here. And the whole command so important. Let's see what it says. I'm come upon the earth having their wrath. It said, and that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword.
There's to add to that, you realize that Esau is a man when he travel everywhere and he caused dissension amongst all the people. See? When he go to China, he caused dissension amongst basically the eastern hemisphere with the western. The Chinese people start to hate America from that.
Even within his own nation, you have the Russian Edomites who hate the American and European Edomites. The European Edomites hate the Russian Edomites and the American Edomites. The American Edomites, same thing, hate them.
Exactly.
You know, there's no harmony anywhere.
Exactly. There's this small clips on BBC and show some little small videos. You see, and they must show one. It's basically an Arab dude being racially profiled as a terrorist. You see, and I look at old white man defending. And the old white man defending him say, yo, the reason why you are here is because we were here. You see? And he say, yo, the history connects us all. So when you go in a people's society and fuck them up now, you see, they basically cause a dissension in the minds of all the people. Say, yo, these people are terrorists. These people are wicked. Therefore, nobody can live now.
Because the son of perdition.
They take your peace from the earth, man.
Alright, so this is Psalm chapter 10 and verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity.
Because when they paint a picture of now peace, and the scripture says about peace, we shall be not deceived men. You know, in bring peace and promise security, and promise prosperity, and promise everything that is good under the sun. That's the packaging, that's the marketing. However, you always show the pros and the potential of the technology. But really and truly, that is not what you use technology for. You might use it to actually scale because you use a microchip for every door. Yeah, fine. Why not? But you now tell them, say, look here, me I don't know the moment to enter your house and know the moment you leave. And we decide to want to come for your next time, I can tell you. We're in the house because you have a smart TV and a smart watch connect to your phone. Your phone in a room and you're 6 meters away from your phone. Based on the chip of your all them something else. You know how to send time to traffic.
Not only that, your phone have a thing called NFC and it that technology go correlates with the RFID readers. You see me?
And you know how to say you run background programs in your phones and all the devices.
Exactly. When you have your phone in the same hand with the chip there, best believe me, they will communicate. You see me, the chip will send information to your phone, and your phone will send information to Google or Apple.
Well, one thing that was revealed yesterday with the brain chipping from Elon Musk is that they revealed that when the brain is chipped with the device, that with their computer system they'll be able to tell every single one of your movements. So as soon as you lift your hand, the system will be able to tell which finger you moved and everything. So
and not only that, they did an experiment with micro technology. Basically, Esau, them say, look, when the example they use, I'm going to say I have a flighter jet, a flighter pilot, and I'm about to carry out that strike. And they say it will take too long, then tell him over the mic, say, yo, don't take the shot. Then send a signal to him brain using micro technology, to make him think like him and say, no, that shot enough to take, and hold back. So they can literally send thoughts to your mind. Because all it is signals.
I think in 2015 or somewhere before, scientists found out that they can implant dreams inside their head, or memories. Yeah, they can implant memories inside their head.
They tell us that even communication, like they have devices where you can actually put it, because they don't necessarily hear from your ears. You actually can put devices and look, like you say, and you can communicate with that. You know, you can also look here. evil parts in its signals. It's just that we can't see it. So with the brain wave and all the different technologies, they must verify, they must see all the different coding and signals your body are in it, your brain are in it, and actually I find ways to tap into them. Just like an antenna.
Bridging is basically energy. Everything of a form of energy will give off or so. You see me? I just tap in on that energy there and use it and read the data with and give it.
Scripture say in Boaz and Daniel, and say in do a diligent search.
We can get them priests and
I'm not take too long to bring out the priests in here.
Alright, so back in Psalms chapter 10 and verse 7. His mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. He sitteth in the lurking places of the villages. In the secret places doeth he murder the innocent. His eyes are privily set against the poor.
Exactly. So all of them things are crowded because guess what? Nobody can go. Which one Alex Jones said in the G20 meeting now? They can't go them place there. Some of them places where they make a hole.
Bayman broken. You're allegedly broken.
Most of them places are places where they are states within themselves. You know, when you're in the Westminster Abbey of London, that is a place within England, but it's a place within itself. Washington DC is a city within itself, right? So, and like I said, it actually functions among the American laws. You know, so them places are different. So, them actually in some private place, you know, Area 51. You try to go them places, you know, problem.
Alright, you say, try.
Yeah, try. Yeah, try.
Even as simple as you see the White House.
No,
it's not simple. Even when you see like some people they make the news and say people are trying to breach the gate and stuff. You can see a lot of them in the stage because if you go to the gate at the White House, is a serious step already.
Yeah, down to the airspace. Yeah, because go over that. It's not even like June.
Yes,
because I think the same the I can breathe thing. Protest for them there going. Them try to come close to the White House as I say, brother, and some calling National Guardsmen and the man them patrol off. See the White House where and the man them patrol off out on the streets, and you can't come to a certain vicinity close to it. You see me? Yeah?
Alright, so verse 9. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion.
You know, secret, they go up to them secret councils. They're like, we call it, the Bilderberg. You know, even to create the Fed, remember the meet the name as remember the meet the name. Yeah, on Jekyll Island now and then. This is my create. No, that different. Britain was agreement. No.
Well, them have so many councils. They have so much council and all of the council them, you know, yeah, it is. Guess what? Majority of the council them is against Jake. The whole plan is to get rid of Jake. Then all of the council when them have the secret council. Then, and that is what is actually transpiring now because you have some of our leaders that take place in certain councils. Then, not in every council, then just get invited to participate in certain councils according to ESA agenda. And that is the reason why I see our leaders and know like the Andrew Holness, Zane, the Trinidadian government. That's why I see them push the agenda to lead you to what? Towards the mark of the beast. In the time when the first lockdown, Andrew Holness continuously, I tell you, everybody should get a bank account. Everybody should get a bank account. There is a specific agenda behind it. And he was invited and it was, you know, them showing it. You know, and whatever promise them make to him, I said, whatever promise them make to him, I will know him well convinced. You know?
Right, so Psalms 10 and 9 again. He lieth in wait. He lieth in wait secretly as a lion in his den. He lieth in wait to catch it, the poor. He doeth catch the poor when he drive him into his net.
Yeah, and that all of them trick. You know, allegedly these right now they will push our pandemic. You know, and them basically catch the people and trap up from receiving the vaccine and ultimately a chip.
Yeah, you can see that them catch already.
Yeah, man, they get it.
They're ready. Them fitting for the picking.
Well, excuse me, if we're got to be hid, it is hid from them that are lost, whom the God of his word are blinded their eyes.
Hey, the scripture describes Esau as a skillful, cunning, phone call. But I'm not the joke.
But in Genesis report, he was the most subtle in the garden.
Yeah.
We can say example of that in the movie Wolf of Wall Street. In Leonardo basically they sell bad stuff to people. And say well, you need to mix it with the big stuff then to make it look basically appetizable. To make it look attractive. And he go him make the sea, him make gestures like him a jogging fish and him do fishing and them shit. Very skillful and calling on the one. What do the words so?
As I said, I'm going to be a quick one. Psalm 55 and verse 21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart.
Okay. You see, I check all of it.
No, follow up.
Everything we're in place right now with this so-called COVID-19. All these plots. You know that majority of Jake gonna die. Hey, the brother Chapar in sent a video in the group with Ghanaian president, prime minister, one of that one, I don't remember which one. And he saw tell you everything with COVID from start to finish. Literally, everything with COVID from start to finish. And yesterday I watched a video, and I see how the thing play out up to this very point, and we can see how it definitely will go towards the end, as how we read out the plan. And guess what? When it's purposely destabilize the economy, the purposely destabilize countries, and purposely want riots, and then definitely making us look here. We have to separate the people who want to comply, let them comply. If they don't want to comply, put out a virus with about 30% plus mortality rate, and make them comply. You know, so it really and truly, it's all about Esau's agenda. And there's no two ways about it. And a part of his agenda, remember, Georgia guys so feed the population and the 500 million. And that is definitely a part of him not catching the poor. And as you said, he must say this thing smoothly. He must look out for the benefit. You know, for the benefit of humanity. You have to work together, you know, you have to come together. This is to bring it forward, this is the new norm. You know, to ensure that future generations can prosper. All in the field. So,
And I'm going to back up with this read. That is finished, bro?
That's a line. Alright. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn sword.
The sword is in the depopulated earth. Revelation. This is a similar one from Revelation 13 verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. You know, lamb normally is like a calm creature, you know, but he spake as a dragon, go back to a draconian rulings or measures, you know, and that's how the so-called white race do things. Pretend like he's this philanthropist, loving of humanity. Look on Bernard, what are you gonna name? Bill Gates. Earlier he was all about depopulation, earth and carbon emission, and we leave it. Now all of a sudden, this cracker want to come up with a vaccine to save humanity. You know which life?
No, I see him to us and depopulate.
You mentioned the vaccine.
Vaccine.
Yeah. Health care. So literally it's a death care. Literally they say in order to bring down the population by almost 15%, they will use birth control, which you know birth control definitely will bring down the population, health care and vaccine.
Which community them things they mostly hear that?
Alright.
Our community. See, them basically brainwash the mind of the black community. Them rightly call them black. Basically abide by abortion. You have a quote say in the belly of a black woman is one of the most dangerous places to be.
And that's that Margaret Sanger, what she said, the best place to catch the Negro is inside the womb. Don't make it born, kill it. That's why you build the birth control thing.
And it's a perfect hunting. It's a perfect hunting because you have to know your own thing growing. Because if you try to catch a fish and you see yes, them tell you can't catch fish in a full moon. Why? Because he mouth salt. Because if you try to hook him, it will burst through. And that's basically Margaret's technique. Once him come out, it's harder for you to kill him because they don't want to murder that. But if you catch him in the womb, they can butcher him. And the laws them are set up so it's not murder.
She even make mention to the baby she used. She say, yo, she rallied certain black pastors, give them promises, and basically send them out to the congregation and to preach, say, yo, woman basically go kill them. You see, so them have a right over them body and then to kill them people without the knowledge or even acknowledgement of the man.
Murder. With a nigga named Tyler Perry. One of them.
Alright, so back in Psalms 10 and verse 10. He croucheth and humbleth himself, that the poor may fall by his strong ones.
And I'm going to crouch himself like the WTO right now. WHO.
Exactly. To the comment like when you watch Animal Planet, sometimes you see the gazelle out there the field and then when you see the lion or them see the cheetah or whichever feline species out there. But because them not really knowledgeable somewhat, some of them are out there by themselves, they're really knowledgeable say oh that shit we eat them. Them get there a lolly around until them see it make up and move off of them.
I mean, since somebody calls like alligator then.
Yeah.
And when someone started to coach up right at the edge, brink of the pond. Yeah. And the thing we literally like the head like this, somebody right there and big water. And then and him now move and let's take all this one next half an inch forward. And like that.
Dead.
Done. So the really and truly that's how we actually boil down to, you know. We have to definitely the Lord bless with eyes to know our enemy, and that is why we okay, we bring out the scriptures. So we bring out the scriptures, you know, we know that these politicians them sick. You know, I never wonder how is it that we know these things, but really and truly the scripture ever say their own mouth shall call upon them seeking of peace. Because really and truly and information out there we use and I have to come up with things. And the scriptures, we use the scriptures to say, look here, these are exactly where I put right here, so the scriptures we are going to this, the scriptures we are going to that. And that is a danger unto them.
Yeah, add one thing, this is Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 33, it's one of my favorites. Take heed of a mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness. These he bring upon thee a perpetual blood.
Yeah, and that's solid, you know. And the mischievous man is the devil himself, the so-called warrior, the son of perdition. They could heed of him. So every single measure we implement is every single news him tell you, take heed of it. Scrutinize it, scan it, you know, and stop take everything with the so-called white man as gospel. And I mean you know good. And once you think about it twice, it's evident. A man can get as well Sirach 12.
Add one here. It's verse 31. It says, for he light in way and turn it good into evil, and in things worthy praise will he blame upon thee. You see, because in light in way, and everything we're good in turn evil. You understand? Everything where like a unity in a household, in turn that in a evil. He basically remove the man from the household, basically destroy the whole entire household.
Destroy the family.
Destroy the family structure, divide and conquer. You understand? You're supposed to, in your family, you're supposed to have an inheritance. A family is supposed to be a business.
I'm going to get Micah 2 as well.
A family is supposed to be a business. So the so-called white man come in, overrun the family, remove the landmark, the historical landmark, so it's supposed to be a heritage as a family. Take them over and put it in a captivity through what? Through slavery, for the work for him. You understand?
The precept, this is Micah chapter 2 and verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hands.
And when it is given into the powers of their hands, and one can get as well Job 9 verse 24.
This is Job chapter 9 verse 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covereth the bases of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he?
Sorry. We do a preset there, yo. It's give us out how much, flow rivers of river water. We go through it so many times. We know them. You see me? We read the piece all the time. Yeah, but the scripture text, that's why the scripture say when we go back to Michael, he said it is in the power of his hand. Because the Most High give him the power to actually do these things.
Right, it says Esau is literally in his blessing right now, spoken about in Genesis chapter 27.
Yeah, and who gave him in blessing?
Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
Gabriel can receive it. Isaac was actually Yahushai. Right, came and Yahushai doing when he went off what? In father. But Yahweh. So the scripture say what, because he's giving him his the power is given into his hands.
Con.
That he get the power to actually manipulate everything for the earth.
Con.
And right now push the chip, because ultimately the most of the chip is being pushed. And that's when I get the so-called white man no glory.
I have a quick one.
Go on, bro.
This is Daniel chapter 4 and verse 17. This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will, and setteth up over it the basis of men.
Basis of man, Esau, the red Hebrew Edomite, right? So-called white race. He's ruling right now. He's a base man, you know.
The lowest of the low. He's so low that he's below even the cockroaches and the rats, man. That's how low he is.
Once I get rid
But
of
destroy Khan, because those things serve a greater purpose than Esau Edom. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, is simply right now the sword of the Most High, a beating stick unto Israel for our transgression.
Let me prove that.
Bible.
Yeah, let me prove it. Psalm 17 and chapter 13. 13. Yes, Psalm 17 and verse 13. Arise, O Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked.
Yeah, it's a disappointing because him have a goal. You know, him have a goal of what? New World
New World
Order.
Order,
Right, so him have a basically beat the Most High. So this is I think it was David, a request to the Most High to disappoint him. When you get a disappointment now, when you have a plan, you know, I aim and you just get what you don't get. Right, that's what they were saying, say man a plan and God a wipe out.
And when you see the disappointment already, guys, scripture say when it's about to
We have it.
Go on up. Yeah, man, we can get
yeah. Deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword.
and who is the wicked? Malachi 1 and 4. You can get the
Malachi 1 and 4.
verse 4. You can get them out. Malachi 1 verse 4. So it says deliver him from what? The wicked, which is his sword. Right, so let's get it from the scripture. Who is the wicked?
The wicked.
Right, because you have wicked people in the world, you have a set of people known as the wicked.
They're born wicked, they can't change
Alright.
any at all. Alright.
Get me Psalm 50. Alright. Read this
So
book.
this is Malachi chapter 1 and verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places.
And did they not do that?
Yeah, Renaissance era.
Exactly, they came back, and during 1492, there were several major events that happened that year, man. You had the in Spain, the exile of the Jews. You had them take down the Moors as well. And what else did they do? They came over here to the Americas searching for the children of Israel, the Northern Kingdom Israelites, the so-called Latinos and Native Americans and Seminole Indians.
The one where when you come in from the sea, wicked increase from there.
Of course, it's in
The generalism of Alexander. We'll continue.
Alright, so thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness.
They shall call them what? The border of wickedness, right? You can give me that quick scripture about Psalm 68. No, Psalm 3.
And if you are unconvinced that the so-called white man is the wicked, you need to observe what is going on in the world today. They are clearly in rulership. All of the nations seek to be like them. And while they're in rulership, what are they doing? They are pushing laws that are contrary to the laws of Yahweh Shimon Shai. So, common sense dictates what? You do the opposite of righteousness, then you're what? Wicked. It's clear to see.
Psalm 58 and 2. Yea, in heart ye work wickedness, ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth.
Alright, we're going to start the one. Start the one. You're right.
Start that one. Verse 1. Do ye indeed speak righteousness, O congregation? Do ye judge uprightly, O ye sons of men?
Yeah, so it's a question, right? And if you judge uprightly, you're supposed to go towards the scriptures. And what the scripture say? For God supposed to get put to death. There's also thing as women's liberation movement, and the scripture we clearly have David Nick Rockefeller, or one of them crackers, come out and admit to Aaron Russo, so you are basically them fund the woman's right liberation because they know rubbish. But instead, because the scripture tell you clearly, so the man is above the woman. You know, in what First Corinthians chapter 11 verse 3. But what him flip that? You know, scripture you go back and say, "One to them that turn things upside down." Alright, so are you judging?
Unrighteous decrees too.
Yeah, that.
I'm pretty sure it might be.
Alright, so if you want to get it, one verse 2. Yeah.
Verse 2, yea, in heart ye work wickedness. Ye weigh the violence of your hands in the earth. Verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born.
So as soon as the Edomites, the spirit of the Edomites, right? Because it doesn't matter what kind of flesh they come in and look like, it is that spirit of the Edomites. As soon as they come, lies, deception, deceit, and fraud.
I just had again the word extreme. We go back to it. Enemies. They my enemy from them come out of the womb.
From the womb.
From it born. Enemies to what? The biblical Israelites are most of all enemy to righteousness. Contrary to everything we have about you now try to do. Esau of the laws, Esau of the Bibles. But guess what? In implement the laws, statutes, and judgment which are in the Bible.
Because he's the wicked.
That's right.
Read the Maccabees. Read this.
This is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Alright, so basically that's what these Edomites do, man. Alright, these so-called white people, they just write, they declare unrighteous decrees. Laws that are not profitable to society.
Life. Basically to destroy society.
Right. But then they think it's life, because this is what they dwell in, wickedness.
Yes.
So they love it. You know what I'm saying? But for the rest of the people, this has destroyed us completely.
Yeah, because they pass laws to bestiality, they pass laws to pedophilia, because that's what they engage.
And Google that too. Google the bestiality thing, man. All over the world, you have places like Russia, Cambodia, various parts in America that practice bestiality. It's allowed.
But the military, it's in the military as well. American military. It's allowed.
Same thing news 2 years. What should have surprised Babylon? You can read
Maccabees,
The first Maccabees 1 and 7 says, so Alexander reigned 12 years and then died, and his servants bear rule, everyone in his place.
And there's a quick pointer, a lot of people basically, for the most part Christians, I say the Apocrypha is not a part of the biblical canon. The scriptures to show you how wrong them did. Because here is the book of Esther, which is a continuation, which is not the scriptures. The book of Maccabees actually is giving you history. And the scripture said to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it's because there is no light in them. So if you look up parallel with the scripture, simple means say, oh, it's good. And we see that clearly explain history, so what? It's right.
Yeah, it literally has written history that Esau puts out there himself.
Without history, can't get the mystery.
Right.
So you have a missing link, which is the Apocrypha. And with the Apocrypha now, you get to understand everything we have continue on now.
Yeah, because the Apocrypha go deeper in the Roman captivity with the scripture. Because the scripture not really go deep in the Roman captivity and what happened to in them time. Then all of those history, but the Apocrypha.
The Greek captivity.
Greek one, yeah.
The transition gone.
Because it got deep in them and show you say when we first start fall off.
Hey, a good one. Yahushua, he celebrated a high holy day known as Hanukkah. Whatever is in it. Right? No, tongue twister thing. Right? And where in the Old Testament you can find that? It's not written. It's with that take place, you have that account in the Apocrypha. When them basically have the redecoration at the temple,
Rededicate.
gone. You see me? Right, so that's actually in the Apocrypha. So the brother reading a account now, is actually what take place when the so-called, I won't say so-called, Grecians, them kind of crackers, the Edomites actually come in as Grecians.
Right.
That's what take place.
They knock out the people that were there.
That's right.
Identity.
Exactly.
Just like one in Tifu,
That's right.
And his servants bear rule, everyone in his place. And after his death, they all put crowns upon them heads, upon themselves. So did their sons after them many years, and evils were multiplied in the earth.
Right, Con. So even Con, so when you do your research about this period of time, extremely wicked. You can look at even television shows like Spartacus as an example, right? When you watch that show, the amount of debauchery that goes on there, literally, orgies is a regular thing. The level of homosexuality, adultery, pedophilia.
Because I think the Greeks they were known for always of boy servants, which
a catamite.
that is them, basically that's the term, right? With him plug. So he was known on that, and the scripture will tell us wicked men of Israel basically get license for doing madness.
Yeah, and a lot of adultery and stuff too.
Yeah, and actually our people wanted to join onto it. See?
Right, and as I said, a lot of adultery take place because what people were supposed to do. Right now, them willing to do it. Carnival. Or what other one? We started the F word.
Festival.
A festival. So Bacchanal. Right. Celebrate of Bacchus. People was actually Bembe. All the things they were them to Fed, Juve. Right.
Exercise.
Yeah, that too. Is how people was forced to actually march through the streets doing certain holidays for the Grecians. Them. They walk naked. And basically as a sex object.
Yeah, because even like you said, brother, the apocrypha talk about that, brother, the apocrypha, the money make a loss, eh? Yo, as I've known, stop follow the customs of the Euros or the Jewish laws them also, and basically the Roman.
The Hellenization.
The Hellenization, God. Because the man literally make a law for that, brother. You understand me? For sure you say, yo, people, them vile times, yo. You get me?
Can bring for the point up?
Yeah, that's like even with the point where the actor them are going up. That's why Christians don't understand when it says Jews and Greek. They go off. So with this history where the Apocrypha have this book, right? It make you get to understand who are the Grecians, which are Israelites who went after hedonistic customs.
Right.
The answer with a nigga that cracker still is me. When you always come up against someone, the vocab. It's a vocab question. Where it shows you actually it might be a Jeep, we don't know, isn't it? Might be a cracker, might be any nation like that, isn't it? But if you be as a cracker, isn't it? So we have call you, isn't it? I look like one too, right? Right. But you answer the question, where we actually lose our heritage or our nationality, right? But then, people basically diverge. It was literally, it's written. Right, it was not lawful for a man to proclaim that he's a Jew. Right, and when the money company seen, evil increased. Why? Because you can go to the sound book for sure.
Alright, so this is Psalm chapter 50 and verse 16. But unto the wicked, Yahweh said, what hast thou to declare my statutes?
What I don't do to declare my statutes, we have. The show say, yo, you are declared the statutes of the Most High. Go on.
Art that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth?
Because right now they even know we land, so them are the so-called Jews, and where them up? Gay city.
They're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. Alright? The Jays, the Jewish people, the Amalekites. Alright? These are hypocrites, man. Because I was watching, I saw on Al Jazeera this little documentary about the Israelis and the Palestinians over there, and they were saying that the reason why they could promote all of this violence against them and push them out of where they were dwelling and all this stuff is because of the Bible. But then at the same time, they don't establish not one law written in the Bible.
Verse 17. Seeing thou hatest instruction.
You hate the instructions. You want to justify yourself for your wickedness. When you come on to the ways of the scriptures, like, don't clean a little youth rod. No more faggotry in the land, and the graphic. You see me?
Well, that's what they do then.
First, they actually follow the Talmud. It's some bag of madness. Go on.
And casted my words behind thee.
You cast the Bible behind you. Continue.
When thou sawest a thief, then thou consent with him, and as been partakers and partaker with adulterers.
Yeah, because when them capture it from the western coast of Africa, you basically never say, oh no, you can't do this because according to the law you must not steal a man. And basically put him in slavery. That's wrong. You never bring out the law there, but you consent with it. Right, with niggas them for people who basically capture the power and then see man come over here to after hurts, right, and some still over there, right? You actually glad because you know you can actually build your empire, Europe, and get rich. Continue up. And for the Industrial Revolution.
Verse 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit.
Continue.
Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
Right, and what does the word the devil? You go back to slander as well. You know, that's what you do. You're the devil. Right, the accuser of our brethren. Constantly accusing our people. Pushing wickedness in their face. I suppose the one thing that you give him neighbor drink. Right, so you can see nakedness. You surround people with drugs. Isn't with the media, you put on all sorts of wars, you know, and adulterers, niggas, drugs.
I know why you left it up, brother. The food, the wine what we love. You boil pig fat and I put in the food.
And you know, so pig is abominable.
Sure.
Right? The glorified lap standing thing, then you know it's our wickedness. I can't make him finish this man.
Verse 21. These things hast thou done, and I kept silent. Thou thoughtest that I was altogether such as one as thyself, but I will reprove thee and set them in order before thine eyes.
And that's what's taking place right now because scripture now what? Well, you can read what? We'll not get this like take a time, but Ezekiel the 37th chapter, right? Right there. Revelation the 11th chapter. Till it's better coming out when we're standing upon our feet. Right, so now we get reproved. Or we get corrected, we get shown the right way. Is that scripture if we go back and say we're not going to stay upon him that smote us anymore. But the remnant shall return, is going to stay upon the Lord Yahweh Shem Shai. Alright, go on, bro. You see, I have one. So after I finish this, get it? Alright. No, man, you're good, man. Let's make you read this and then you're going.
Alright, so this is
the mic.
This is Isaiah chapter 10 and verse 20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote them, but shall stay upon the Lord Yahweh, Basham Yahweh Shai, the Holy One of Israel.
Yeah, so true. That's why when the chip come here, we not accept that chip as a means of surviving in society.
Right.
Because we're going to reject that shit. We want to stay upon before Yahweh Shem Shai. Because we're smart.
Let's break down the word stay. It means to lean.
That's right.
So we have to lean upon Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai, the spirit and the truth. And that are the lot of the remnant, that are the lot of the elect of the nation of Israel.
Right.
We hopefully we are a part of that. We won't say Esau, we need a chip to live.
Oh, no?
We don't need it. We need Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai to give us the strength and the courage to say no to that chip in the hour of temptation, Revelation 3 and 10. You know, that is our heart desire.
Okay, can I read what the poet said thy mother's son?
Alright, so back in Psalms 50 and verse 19. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Verse 20 now. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother. Thou slanderest thy own mother's son.
Yeah, and just to back that up, because Esau is our relative, you know?
Our brother.
Our brother.
Twin brother. Was.
This is Amos 1 and 11. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh Bashar Shai, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4 I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity.
Them cast off all pity. Let's go do research. Some things will take place in our slavery. Chop off a rod, hang the baby, them buy them home living on the card.
Just the buck breaking alone.
That is it, gross. Cut out the baby them and cut the one belly and
What about the first thing? When they tie the two?
No, another one then.
No,
but
breaking.
one like you tie like 4 houses, you limb them.
Has made them run in different directions.
And them did that in front of your family as well. You know, gate to gate. You know, feed baby to gate, all the gators. Right, when them do the natives, because when I forgot, because them our brother too. You know, they basically usually tie them like rope and set fire underneath them, right? And even set dogs on them, right? You rape the woman them, right? That's why them subject on here right now. Them smart too. I'm picnic. Right, you did all of that, you want even things that we don't know about, things we can't even utter right now, because we remember them. Right, things are undercover.
But guess what?
We won't remember. And most I see.
And the angels of the Lord is up on the sinful kingdom.
Then
Watch.
The Lord record everything. So the books are going to get open and everybody. Galatians 6 and 7, man. The Lord cannot be mocked. Whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he reap. So he go for we. Don't to them people who receive them judgment there. Them wrong, they say kill him. No, murder him and give with Barabbas. So none no perish being innocent. So even Israelites will face them judgment there. And the judgment of Yahweh shall fall upon them. So what say you, Esau, Edom?
Shall he all together go and punish?
Say it again, brother.
The scripture say, and you say it.
Yo, you have to pay.
Right? Pay the piper. Finish your precept, bro.
It said, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually. And he kept his wrath forever.
And kept him wrath forever, yo. And we know majority of the parents them they get deceived right now and not even know them own nation. But for the state of the leads them, and a lot of them rednecks and hate it. And them show them wrath here whenever they chance them get it.
In the change.
Alright, we will get it. We're finishing up. You see me? But read away and bro, and then we can go back to the Micah. If you have some?
Couple precept.
Couple. You see me? But alright. So yeah, man, Micah chapter. Alright, read it.
This is Micah chapter 2 and verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
Yeah, now the brother me speak on earlier, right? Him interfering in everybody's business and basically remove peace from the earth. The scripture refer to him as what? Arm of the earth. And when him used as the main arm of the earth, Babylon, America. Basically poor nations when they're not following madness. They don't talk about the nation them, they have no democracy and all this ruler, this a dictator who need to liberate the Syrian people, the Iraqi people, the Afghan people and drop bomb on them out rass and take them resources. That's a so-called white man for you. Come over here talk about how they live like savage. Which tell you the truth, a lot of people there be some bunch of wicked ass niggas and I'm glad say Esau come fuck them up. Right. You know, like the natives them are good. That's why most I send them over, most wicked, much human sacrifice and all them madness they eating heart. So most I send the wicked to jack them up. As in say I send the Assyrians, which is so-called white races, the Assyrians today, against an hypocritical nation. Right, saying send them basically jack up as a form of punishment for fulfilling evil scripture we read earlier in Psalm 17 chapter, right? The sword which are the hand of the Most High, right? The whip, right? But him actually is wicked, right? Him set up to actually do these things, so you can't trust him.
And again, he will fulfill Revelation 20 when he said that he might get loose on them.
And it's a season.
Right, he might go forward for do what?
Deceive the whole earth.
And he saw us in characteristics as evil.
Yeah. I mean, the scriptures match perfectly with it.
Right.
Yeah. It's undeniable.
As the scripture says, we can hold it as well, 2 Thessalonians 2. Yeah, our precept, bro.
As the brother just said, man, it's a part of the signs as well.
One.
This Baruch 4 and 6. Yeah, man, it says, you were sold to the nation, not for your destruction, but because you moved the Most High to wrath, you were delivered unto enemies for the provoking that made you by sacrificing unto devils and not unto the Most High. You have forgotten the everlasting power that brought you up, and you have grieved Jerusalem that nursed you. For when she saw the wrath of the Almighty coming upon you, she said, hearken, O ye that dwell upon Zion, the Almighty hath brought upon me great mourning.
That's right, yo. We were sold unto the nations, not for destruction, but as a form of punishment. Right, but we're not supposed to stay upon these Edens and the Memorial, which the lake will actually no longer stay upon these nations, especially so-called warriors who will stay upon the Most High. Remember the precept of going up?
Yeah, which one? This one? Alright, so this is Sirach, also known as Ecclesiasticus, chapter 12 and verse 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness.
Yeah, so when you said never, when you never trust money, you know, no matter what them do, no matter what them say, bad man, me not trust you. Me no, no matter how much smile, green tea, shake and, you know, me no business way on say, me no trust you. Like how you not trust nigga, bitch. You see me? Because you know say you eventually I go help me over somewhere or the other. So me and watch. And you just, yeah man, dear thing man, you just watch him. Oh, see, you know. That's what the scripture says, go on.
Verse 11. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Yes, so them humble himself and tell him him a humanitarian. I know he's actually planning to create a virus to basically protect the world from this pandemic. You know, this vaccine you want to create to push from people to cure them from the coronavirus or to shield them from the coronavirus. I want you to wear masks and things here and sanitize here. And I trust him, bad man. Some foolish him a cook up. Because at the end of the day, if no meaning no good, him are your enemy, and your enemy do only one thing. Come up against you. Right? Shatan. In the Hebrew, Satan. Right? He's the adversary, the enemy. Right? But we the most I create two specific set of people on the face of the earth. You know, two we have the stars, you know, and we have the villain. The villain is so-called white race, and the star represent what the scripture refers to the 12 stars, exactly. You know, which represent the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel.
Just after I said brother, because when you look for it, Jacob and Esau are really the two of nation in the world. Them get the greatest blessing. You understand? Them get two of the greatest blessings over every other nation. So when you look for Jacob and Esau, you basically look for yin and yang. You see? So when Esau is like the perfect definition of imbalance. When you talk about balance in an ecosystem, you basically talk about how the ecosystem is supposed to stabilize. And have a study from Yellowstone Park over there in America. And then remove the wolves from that ecosystem. The ecosystem starts to get run over. You see, because the resource system starts to get depleted. That is like exactly what happened right now in that society. Because what? The wicked is loose. Understand? I'm just reading a couple phrases. That's
Make you finish.
Alright. Verse 11 again. Though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him.
Exactly, because them have as brother just mentioned, you have them people who call philanthropists. A philanthropist is like somebody who basically give out charity and them something. But whenever they call it, certain people call it charity tricks. Because they have an agenda behind it. Within a government, they give certain organizations the ability to basically do, they call it free here or charity labor, reduce taxes. But what them big organizations they do it, what them use it to do is to promote their brand. You see, so them do it as a brand promotion. So when you think say they actually benefit the society, they might benefit themselves. So them philanthropy go hand in hand with them benefit. To deceive the people. What?
Alright. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass.
Exactly. So once you have it in your mind, you have a little finger in a game of thrones, say yo, you have to always perceive them as wicked. Don't ever look on them like say yo, you have a chance to do anything good. Understand? Them ways bend from crooked from them bird.
Can a leopard change his spot? Can it yours? Let's read it.
Just read it real quick.
Real fast.
So this is Jeremiah 13 and 23. It says, can the Ethiopian change his skin?
No.
Or the leopard his spots?
No.
Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to do evil.
Basically saying that him can never do good. Right. Everything where you think say him a cause for good, it work out to be evil. And we have examples, countless, can do.
So-called medicine.
Exactly.
Alright. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass. Exactly. And thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away.
Exactly. You see clearly, you see my agenda, and you say every single thing when you say, actually is actually for your downfall.
And how you get rust, how I get rust, it stay out in the open. Understand? So the more out in the open, the more we are seeing, corruption. See, the more the breeze licking, the spiritual breeze and scripture licking, the more we start seeing corruption.
And the spiritual, as they say that, it says, Revelation 12 and 12, he might come down with great wrath, because he knows he have a short time to rule. So this man I gonna get revealed when him look upon him time, when him link him left hand priest them and say, oh the clock look. Him say, you have a little bit of time, you know? He man come down
A little bit of time, it
That's
means
why I say
we don't have
Revelation
much.
12 and
You're gonna hear some say we don't have much time, we have to hurry. You see me?
Yeah man,
Alright, so we repeat this.
Yeah, man, we have one in the web of it.
Alright, so this is Isaiah chapter 24. Let's start verse 4. So the earth mourneth and fadeth away. The world languisheth and fadeth away. The haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof. So right now the earth is in a state of imbalance. Because what the so-called white man have here rule.
Yes.
All the resources is being depleted. Nothing is being maintained in its right structure. You understand? It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinances, broken the everlasting covenant. You understand?
broken the everlasting covenant.
So everything what Esau do, what Esau promote is why it basically set up maybe that disease will erode the entire earth. When the book of Proverbs 29 say,
When the righteous.
it say, if you can quote it to me.
When the righteous in authority.
The people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn.
So that's it, we are close, giving our praise, of course, so for you. How the one who's into elders and apostles of Gmskingstonjamaica. Shalom to the people.
Shalom.